Good times, right? It's 2019 and a new feeling has just come over you. It's a mixture of nostalgia and memories of vivid and colorful moments that if you could go back in time, you'd live again. This feeling is nostalgia. But why has it lost its color? Everything is so different. Why has this happened? Is it just me? Was it really in 2019? Or is it relative for everyone? Come with me and I'll show you why it happened and try to bring a little more color into your world. I'm sure you've wondered if that glow can come back, if you can see life in that colorful way again, and restore that perception of a reality where time passed more slowly and yet ended in the blink of an eye. But because you were living on automatic, you ended up not reaching a conclusion and unconsciously accepted reality as it is, even though you missed it. The curious thing is that when many people search their memories or talk to people who lived through it, or even people who were there, they end up feeling deeply sad. Because nostalgia is indeed a deep feeling. And that's something that's going to make it difficult for me in this video. But here we go. A curious fact is that the world is literally becoming grayer, more monochrome. And this may also have altered many people's perceptions. These photos here show this difference. People now use colors to provoke certain feelings and alter our perception of an object or an idea. For example, this study shows that painting the house a specific color increases the value of the property. This proves that color messes with our heads, but if it has so many positive effects, why is everything so monochrome? The answer is that if an industry wants to produce on a very large scale, it's much easier if there isn't so much color variation. This study shows that the replacement of wood with plastic is another thing that has changed our environments. My grandparents' house, for example, the environment is much more colorful, and if there's a nostalgic atmosphere, it's a grandmother's house. The fridge was like that. The bookshelves, sofas, tablecloths, even the plates and crockery were also colorful. And that really made me feel good. Nowadays, all those objects I mentioned are black and white. And just when I think it's over, I look out of the window and see that 90% of cars are black and white too. But that's okay. It can all be changed. We're highly adaptable. But what really intrigues me is where the magic is in 2016-2017. Even before that, humans always seem to want what they can't have. And the fact that this time is over forever makes it even sweeter. There's a big difference between remembering and living. I feel that as life progresses, its burdens and difficulties increase, and I progressively feel nostalgic for the times that were easier while life gets harder and harder, and any little thing can cause this. A song, a brief memory, people from that time who have gone, even places I used to go that no longer exist. But it's also the longing and sadness I feel because I can no longer live those precious moments in real time. They were all a flash in the pan, and now they're just memories. So I guess the big question is, how do we accept the changes in a way that allows us to enjoy those old memories without falling into a spiral of depression? How do we deal with our inner child who, when reminded of times gone by, occasionally won't let us face reality? In my opinion, you have two options. Either you enjoy it now, or in 4 or 5 years' time, you won't even remember it. In other words, you'll live on automatic, and when time goes by, you'll feel that this was a period erased from your life. I felt this pain when I looked back on my life during the pandemic. I lived as if things were never going to come back, and after 2 years, I saw that it was a null period. I didn't do anything meaningful because I was constantly trying to get pleasure, so I don't remember it in a good way. But nowadays, I feel nostalgic for things up to 6-7 months ago. And for me, that's a great sign. I feel that I've lived intensely. On the question of the specific year, you'd probably agree with me because of your age, so in a similar age bracket to me, but I'd be curious to know how a child from 2012 onwards would react if I told them that in 2015 my life was about twirling a pencil to see if Charlie was in my living room. Dude, for real, that was one of the best times for me. Every month there was a new meme, a new song, and even then, life wasn't polluted by the internet. 2012 to 2019 was the best phase for me. But it didn't end there, and many other phases will begin and end. What you shouldn't do is forget to focus on the now. It's quite cliche, but it's what works. See you next time.